battery you got?
I Philly juice.
Oh, it's Philly juice. This is what it is. Wow.
That's what
We
it
are
is.
in the Stash Mobile.
Ah.
What a stupid place. What? How are you already
Where'd you
smoking? You smoking ahead of me?
You gave me this cigar. I lit it up, bro. You were busy
Well, I
doing
was
things.
doing all the work, man. That's right. You were enjoying the
happens.
harvest.
Good evening, gentlemen. Brothers of the Leaf.
Hey, what's up, guys?
Live with Richie. Big D.
Stash is smoking one of the highest rated cigars of the year. The Casa de Saco, baby. Soft, gentle heat. Look at
Thank
that.
you, Sacco. Thank you, Damon.
The quality on that cigar looks
Beautiful.
better. This is Rocky Patel. No band, right? This is Rocky Patel. Casa de Saco. Rocky Patel. Hold on. Can you see it? Look, show. Yeah, here you go. Come on. Here you go. Sacco's wrapper is nicer, better quality. Can't stress it enough. Casa de Saco. It's for people in the know. You have to join a secret cigar society. You have to give us 10% of your money, and no, I'm lying. It is what it is. Saka, what's up, man? We can't do any guests tonight because we had to set up the phone horizontally in the truck, and to set up the phone horizontally, we could not have a guest. Literally, for some reason, YouTube's like, if you want to set up your phone this way, no guest. If your phone is this way, you can have a guest, which makes no sense. But it is what it is. Jeremy, how's your balls? Gentlemen, but see, here's the thing, too. I can do this now. We'll see. This way I can't do it, though. Normally, I could do, what's it called?
You can't turn your phone that way?
No. Normally, I could do, no. If I do it now, or just on the stream. If I went this way, to get two people in, it wouldn't see us both. We'd have to look at you, then come back. You know what I'm saying? No, the problem is we need the panorama. You can't have everything. It is what it is. You know? Was just watching. Hey, what's up, Mark? What's up, brother? Chewy. Oh, Raw. Yeah, bro. Raw. Yeah, Stash. So some of that Raw. Raw is a bad neighborhood. We can't stress that enough. It was just people making bad decisions, drugs and not following the 10 Commandments or any of the commandments. Not even one. not even one.
Doing as thy will.
Yeah.
Not as thou wilt.
Someone was bearing false witness. So that's your first Casa de Saco. Look at that beautiful quality. What would you say the quality on that cigar? The overall quality. Beautiful cigar.
The construction looks beautiful, bro. If you put a nice, pretty band on it, this would look sweet.
Yep.
It's a nice tasting cigar.
And that's in Connecticut, but it's not boring. It's a really nice cigar. It's a light. And it opens up. The more you smoke it, the stronger it's gonna get. And just enjoy it, man. I'm gonna be reviewing this. I want you just to enjoy that cigar, and at the end, let us know, the flavor you got and everything else. But I'm gonna be reviewing this LB1. Now it's a cigar I reviewed before, but here's the thing: I found it at a store, which I'll get to it later. They accused Richie of plotting to rob the cigar store. I'll get to that later. But the accusation was because I bought a cigar and then I went into the parking lot and I was on my cell phone because I was waiting to pick up my daughter in 10 minutes. And we'll get to it. But we'll get to that later. But for the record, I don't rob anyone.
It's not a hot cigar.
Yeah. No, I paid for it with the credit card. So, I paid for this shit. And it's on camera. No, but they were just mad. There wasn't the guy that worked there. Somebody was mad that after I left the store, I was just sitting in my car because I was watching stupid YouTube videos. I was watching.
You don't watch stupid videos.
Well, I'm just saying.
You always send me some interesting stuff.
They're not ready for that level of intellect. I keep these guys. We talk about cigars, and I try to give them some godly wisdom, but. Stash and me are on a level that you guys would accusatory call it conspiracy theory, and it's okay. Children need, young babies need milk. They're not mature enough. They're not ready for meat. And I'm not saying you were going to give them our meat, but you get what I'm trying to say. Stash is what it is. You don't throw pearls to swine, and you don't give meat to infants. They'll choke. You give them steak or chicken. You give them milk. You know what I'm saying?
Well, if we started talking about the conspiracies we know about, they would be banned this.
Even going with 9/11. But the point is, though, that's for how do you say?
All I could say is there are confederacies and there are alliances that people make.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, let's just
We're
enjoy
here
this
to smoke
festive
cigars.
season. Some people call it Saturnalia. Some people call it Christmas. Some people call it Hanukkah.
Well, it's all these things are happening at once.
Yes.
The celebration.
And your birthday starts on Saturnalia.
I was born on Saturnalia, which is the greatest one pagan holiday of the year.
Do these gentlemen know about Saturnalia?
Yeah, they don't know. They'd have to Google Saturnalia, and 99 cents. Thanks a lot, Gio. It adds up.
Right out, Gio.
The thing is, just Google Saturnalia, and what happened was this: when the Catholic Church wanted to expand, they took what the pagans were doing, relabeled it, and said, "Look, you could come over to our church. You could keep your tradition. We'll just relabel it with some Christian names." And then, so my point is, like, December 25th is not the birthday of Christ. He was born actually in the spring. The point is this, though. So it is what it is. The point
A lot of drinking, revelry, dancing. Nothing that's wrong with a couple of drinks, revelry. But when you get into the orgies, that kind of crazy, right?
Of course. But then also the whole idea of gift giving and putting a star on the tree and Jeremiah
chapter 10.
Jeremiah talks about not putting trees in your house, nailing it to the floor and adorning it with silver and gold as the pagans.
Mm-hmm.
So the point is, by reversal, putting a tree in your house is a pagan tradition. At the same time, though, we do know Christ said his last things. He said, "Forgive them, for they know not what they do," because most of the masses are getting fooled. So you have to also, you want to put a tree in your house, it doesn't mean you're a pagan. You don't. Most people are being tricked. You get what I'm trying to say? Now, if you put upside down crosses in your house, you're a Satanist, okay? You know what I'm saying? Even if you decorate it like a Christmas tree, you're going to hell. It is what it is. Well, let's talk about the cigar. This LB1, which is a cigar I didn't really enjoy that much when I reviewed it, but this one's aged 4 years. The box said 2019, which means it was rolled before that, and obviously aging room, and then put in the box. So this I don't know how they had like 6 left from 2019 LB1. We're gonna find out what 4 years of age does to a Rocky Patel. Nobody gives a shit, but it is what it is. I'm on Long Island. It was $12, and let me see top chats here. Let's see. Sacco said aliens. He said, Sean said, talk conspiracy. The conspiracy is the conspiracy unless you let the wrong people know the wrong thing. He said, do the meth. Here's what it is.
Sure.
Yeah, I'm glad you guys are here. Let me tell you something. Johnny Stash is a real friend. Picked me up from the airport. We stopped for pizza. We smoked a Padron. He let me borrow his beautiful work truck, so I'd have to rent the vehicle for $1,000.
I got a nice dump rack truck. It's a little old, but it's still very clean. It's a 2006 3500.
It's a beautiful
dump
truck.
rack,
Yeah.
with the Versa racks in the back.
6.0 V8.
It's a nice truck, and it's blessed me and allowed me to and my workers to do their job. Thank God.
Well, they thought I was doing a job. They thought they thought I was robbing.
Well,
the
one of my
place.
guys wanted to borrow the truck. They said, "No, it's already spoken for the next 5 or 6 days. It's not available."
See,
So, where did we smoke the cigar? What were we doing as the?
we were making a fire. We made a nice campfire. Johnny Stash was a pyro. He used about a gallon of gas.
Oh yeah. The wood was wet. I had a big rainstorm in there, and I got a nice fire pit in my backyard. But the wood was very, very wet, so I had to douse a lot of gas onto the wood that was already there from some of the debris I got from people's yards, and then we threw a nice pallet on. But Big D grabbed some of those leaves and with the pitchfork, he was having a good time.
It needed the spaces in between filled. The thing in life, just like us, some things start right away. Other people need just a little more encouragement.
That's
you know
it.
What I'm saying?
Hey, Sacco, this cigar is sweet. Thank you, brother.
And you're getting a great ash on that.
Yeah. Did you say I shouldn't hold the ash too long?
Well, if it's smoky, if it's not, if the draw is not tight at all, or it's burning fine, then leave it. But if you feel let's say it's burning a little slow, then drop it off so it burns fast. When you grow ash, it slows the burn of a cigar.
Gotcha.
So my point is, on any cigar, if you feel you want to open it up, drop it.
What's Sacco saying?
He said, Richie, fill it up before returning the truck. Yeah.
Yeah.
Why don't you mind your fucking business? Are you a cop? Are you a cop? All right.
I was gonna give him my older truck. I have an old 350 Ford. This one's a Chevy that was sitting in, but it's too beat up. You know, the captain's seat is all like falling apart. I just had to give my friend the better truck that I have. So
he's a classy man.
You know,
he's a man of class.
And he doesn't really ride motorcycles, so I couldn't give him my Goldwing. I'd give him that too.
No, if I'm riding a motorcycle, I want to wear like a toga or a thong or something like that. You know, have the wind on my balls. I made that up. I don't know what we're talking about. Here's what it is. He said, I don't know why he said moist here. Sacco is his own hardest critic of his cigars. I appreciate that, Sacco. Yeah. No, dude, the cigars are great. If anything, if the packs are kept the same for next year, either we talked about either diminishing some of the load or going up one step size. But then I think diminishing the load would be easier, be more cost effective than using the same amount of tobacco and then have to get new molds, because molds are more expensive, to make them a little bigger. And also, so I don't know. I mean, there's a million ways you can skin a cat. But the Connecticut's, that thing's burning great. That ash is going to fall. I just saw the crack.
Okay.
You got to trust Richie.
Trust Richie.
Yeah, I told you.
I trust Richie. Richie, our friend, brother Big D, is one of the finest men I've ever known. He's a very dear friend, and I'm thankful. I'm glad that he's here back in New York. He's going to have a great visit with his daughter and his family. He's got a beautiful Aunt Rita and cousin, and it's going to be nice.
I see my brother and his kid.
Brother, yeah.
But I got to see my best friend, though.
I know.
And I got a new flannel. Look at my sister brought me a new Christmas flannel. Look at this.
That's a beautiful flannel.
Very festive, man. It's got wool and everything.
Yeah, nice. Look at that. Bro.
Nice, man. Here's what it is.
Just to hook you up.
Yeah, it's nice. Here's what it is. So the cigar, off the bat.
What do you taste? What kind of notes you getting there, Richie?
First of all, the draw is good. The finish is about medium in length, medium in heaviness. Not super long, but it doesn't diminish so fast. So just starting off, it's at an even medium. And darkness, it's about 65% darkness. Not a super dark cigar, but definitely darker than a Connecticut. Connecticut's generally around 50% darkness. Does that make any sense? Because you still have a little black pepper, maybe a little earth. But the overall appearance, if you put all the notes in the band, if that makes any sense, all the instruments together, Connecticut's are more on the lighter side. He said, who doesn't want the best for their product? One day, hope. Yeah, Sacco, one day, you forget about Davidoff. One day we're going to see Sacco off. You know what I'm saying? Or on Sacco. On Sacco. I like on Sacco. It sounds Japanese. On Sacco. He's only Richie Patel was Rocky Patel was Rocky Patel. Here's what it is. I'll tell you what, for this cigar having 4 years of age on it, just picked up right there, medium plus. It didn't go flat. Have you had aged cigars before, like where, let's say, the box was 5 or 6 years old, or somebody had cigars that were sitting for a while, a couple of years? And did you ever notice any difference, or feel like they got flat? Or,
yeah.
Where you're kind of like, well, it's more airy, if that makes any sense. More diminished. Picture if you had 1 ounce of scotch, but you wanted 3, so you added 2 ounces of water. Yeah, you got 3 ounces of scotch, but you know what I'm saying, though, it's diminished returns. Now, some guys love cigars that are really aged, but at the same time, I think guys that like cigars that are really aged, maybe it reminds me of that guy, Jenny and Allen, where he wanted me to bang his wife in front of him.
Oh, jeez.
You know what I'm saying? Like, why do you want to make the cigar weaker? You know what I'm saying, though?
I seen Jenny. She out at the bagel store.
Yeah,
she's nice.
Well,
woman,
okay.
bro.
When I did that was 6-7 years ago. That was 6-7 years ago. So she was looking better back then.
Yeah.
And she would stuff a bagel pretty good. She'd make a bagel, whatever. So you seen Jenny, right? Oh, you knew.
Well, when you told me that you worked at the bagel store, then I went in there.
He went. Stash went in there.
Well, it's a
Stash
local
went in
bagel.
there. Hold on. He went in there as an ass detector. Not that he didn't believe me, but he wanted to go as a confirmation. So you went there, right?
Yeah, she was a decent-looking middle-aged woman, and
but you only saw her bagel outfit.
Yeah, I know. I didn't,
I mean, trust me, she had a rack.
I know.
And everything was nice, you know?
No.
You can't see in a white t-shirt and a pair of sweatpants while she's stuffing a bagel, it's not gonna look so sexy. You know what I'm saying? Especially at 5, 6 in the morning. You know, you want salt and pepper on that? I'll tell you what. I know I'm having a good time. That means the cigar's not getting in my way. If a cigar is not, I'm not enjoying the cigar, it ruins my mood. So because my mood's not bad, I know I'm enjoying this cigar. So overall, I can zoom out. I'll talk about flavor and everything else. But if I'm still having a good time because I want to have a good time, that means the cigar is good. If the cigar stops me from having a good time, you know what I'm saying? You're like, this thing sucks, or like, well, I'm not getting that out of, or that wasn't worth the money. You know what I'm talking about? Then you know it's like the sheep's and the goat. You know. So man, that thing is really burning good, man. Sacco, the Connecticut's really burning well, man. Look at, show them the razor sharp burn. Show him that char line. This way. He's new to this. The char line. Look at the char line. That's a very good razor burn. And we're sitting in a truck with the windows open. And I don't know if it's midnight, whatever, 37 degrees.
Turn the radio on, drop the video.
It is. Just showed our balls. Actually, we weren't wearing pants. That's what it is. Thank God we're wearing pants. That's what it is. He said flex. He says he's fresh. He's got to check the merchandise. Multiple ring gauge throws me off. In the factory, one person only makes one ring gauge. Yeah, so Sacco, if you're going to keep the same ring gauge, if anything, so we know, on some of the other blends, or just in general, whatever leaf you decide, now from there you might keep the same blend, but cut one leaf in one, and then cut one leaf in another, and then see how the flavor changes or how it pushes it differently. I know on some of the other ones with the Habano ones, the pack was just so condensed in a sense, and the cigar still burned fine. But the Connecticut is flawless. That thing is burning perfectly. So the construction is A1. The construction on Sacco cigars is literally Davidoff level. Like, I think it's going beautiful, man.
Yes.
Yeah.
What did we smoke earlier? What did I buy you for your birthday? The 26th. The Padron 26.
The pyramid
wasn't a big one. I don't know the ring gauge. You know.
It was probably just shy of a Toro, maybe like 50, 52. It was a box press, and it was the natural, and it was a great cigar. And we smoked that shit, the campfire and Christmas music and great festivities. You know. He says feedback. No, dude, the cigar is great. You know, and if anything. What the cigars overall, the only thing they would need is just a little less tobacco, so there's a little more room for air, or if you want to go a bigger gauge. But in this case, that's a good place to be. It's not like, well, it was a bad. I was smoking the other night. He had a Brazilian one with the Cameroon binder, and I was smoking that this morning at what time? I've been up for 48 hours, and I don't do cocaine. It was at 2 o'clock in the morning in. Well, you guys know they were there.
Did that live?
I did the live, yeah. And later on, after the live, I was finished the second half of the cigar. I was just sitting somewhere else, but no one bothered me in Colorado. And we went asking if I was robbing anyone. And I was having such great moments. You know the moments where you hold a smoke and you're like, wow, that's really good. You know what I'm saying, though? So that Brazilian with the Cameroon, the second half, the notes and everything were really harmonically going well. So that one was a great one. And the flavor was going very well. So if anything, you could save a little tobacco on the cigars and a little less, I think. That's the only thing. And so have a little more airflow. Because if you look at Padron, they slightly underpack it. So even if the cigar's wet, it still burns good. Because the cigars you bought today were wet from the store. But they still burned well. Why? Because they're a little bit more room. Does that make any sense? Picture, if you have a machine that's so perfect, though, but if there's no room for error, if anything goes wrong, you might have an issue. But if you leave a little sloppiness in it, or a little more grace, in a sense, a little more space, then even the cigars, because when a cigar is wet from the humidor, the leaves expand. So if the cigar's already full of tobacco, when they expand, you're gonna get even tighter.
Well, this cigar that I'm smoking, that Sacco, they call it a Casa del Sacco.
Casa del Sacco.
It's a
CDS.
It's got beautiful taste to it. I'm not sure what kind of taste. I don't get the notes like you get the notes, Big D. But
Well, would you
it's
say
smooth.
is it smooth, vanilla, creamy nuttiness?
Yeah.
Does it remind you of that kind of stuff?
Yeah, it's right up my alley. It's
Like
not
an Ashton, like a classic
Yeah,
Ashton.
yeah. This is like an Ashton. Yeah, this is beautiful.
Because you smoke when you do smoke a lighter cigar, you like Ashton and you like Davidoff. You know?
Right.
The cigar I picked up, it's medium full. I wouldn't say it's a great cigar, but I wouldn't say it's a bad cigar. And at the same time, though, nobody cares about Rocky Patel. And so, the 4 years of age, what I could say on this is cigar still has balls. It's not boring. So that's really, it's going to be not that exciting about the review. Who gives a shit? Rocky Patel is one of those brands that I don't hate, but it's never like, oh, you know, this is my favorite brand. Like, you know, like, think about it. I mean, you can smoke whatever you want. How often are you buying a Rocky Patel? Right? I mean, let's be real. I mean, you know.
What does Doc say?
He said, I'm glad you're enjoying it, man. Yeah, you're smoking the shit out of it. You're having a great time. He said, I'm sober as old lady preaching reefer madness. I've seen the movies from the 1920s.
Reefer madness.
He said, he says, I don't sniff the wife anymore, the white anymore. Yeah, dude, don't. It probably got fentanyl in it. Don't do drugs. He said, if I didn't get negative complaints, I'd be spitting a little bit of Tabasco sauce in her clam.
Who said that?
I don't know, Sean. He's on a roll here. Here's what it is. Yeah. Yeah, I think that, and so there was no room to improve on construction. Construction is flawless. The blends were flawless because they were great blends. It would be the only thing you could say is to compensate for either wet tobacco or stems in the tobacco, either have a little more room in size or make the room by taking one leaf out. You know what I'm saying, though? And it is what it is with that. So yeah, we're both on vacation. You're on vacation too. Johnny Stash is a made man. He works for yourself.
Yes.
And so you're off tomorrow because you have your landscaping company.
I'm off until the middle of March.
Middle of March.
Yeah. We wrapped up work last week, and I'm good for like 3 months. So usually from the middle of December to the middle of March, I'm good. I have 3 months off.
Caleb said BPW.
So I put my my nuts away like a squirrel, and I'm good to go. And it's so good to have Big D in New York. And I'm sure it was great to see your daughter today. I mean,
she got so
emotional.
big. She's so beautiful. My daughter, she's a princess. Yeah, had a great time. Just seeing her at the house, and I took her. I'm so proud of her at dance. She's literally a professional ballerina. So who knows if she end up on Broadway or the Rockettes or whatever she wants to do. She'll probably get a full ride in college. You know, that's what do they call it, the Philharmonic or whatever the hell they do with, whatever, the Russian ballet. You know, if she wants to tour around the world, she literally is an elite ballerina. Like I'm not joking. I'm not just saying because she's my kid. Like no, like she's like I show you some of the pictures from her competitions of late, and she is the top one in the class, and she's competing against other girls 15 and 16 years old, and she's 13. That's how much she works at her craft. Like she really is an artist of dance, of ballet, and everything else.
I'm glad that child support's going to work, bro.
Well, it is. I got 4.5 years left. God willing, it is what it is.
Oh, you got to pay the 21 if they're
It's
in college.
18.
If they're in college, it's 21, bro. I know. I did it.
No. There was nowhere in it that says 21 in the papers. It's 18.
You better go check your paperwork, bro.
Okay, when you're 21, are you a child?
No, but you're still a minor.
Okay, I just can't stress it enough.
If you're in college, bro. That's the way it goes. You better check your paper. Unless it's changed. I don't know. I'm not a lawyer, so.
It depends. I never agreed to pay for college or anything like that. It wasn't in there.
It doesn't matter, bro. I had to pay too for college. I had to give her half. That's the way it went.
I'm not doing that shit. You know how much college costs now? It's like $500,000. You send me to jail. Send me to jail. Just send me to jail. Okay, all right, yeah. Send me to jail. Is what it is. Is what it is. Can't stress it enough. let me see here. He said, Richie, Richie, you plan on trying the new Foundation Metapa? Yeah, I'm going to get to it. I don't know if I'm going to do it here in New York because I know that the prices are egregious out here. On the same new cigars, if I got them from my guy in Colorado, same cigars could be $5 to $7, $8, $9 cheaper. They really gouge out here, man. Like they gouge. One shop had Cohiba Black. I saw $42. I mean, holy shit! Give me a break. I mean, it's egregious. New York, well, that's what it is, man. It's Sodom and Gomorrah. We know New York is. The greed is at the point where it doesn't matter
What's
anymore.
the tax on cigars here? Big D, is it like 70%?
75%. But then it's more than that because they're just gouging too. So once you gouge, it doesn't matter. It's like, so how much is it? Well, how much you got? It is what it is. You know what I'm saying? Nobody cares. Yeah. I could literally get a 5-pack of Cohiba Black for $25 to $30 on the internet. A 5-pack. And they want a 42 for one. Here. You fucking... I mean, it's a good cigar. It ain't no $42. And most cigars ain't no $42 cigars. That's a gimmick in a sense because at that point, if you're charging $40, $50 for a cigar, you better give it magical looking box, magical looking band. You better hype up the story behind it because at the end of the day, a pile of leaves, and don't get me wrong, there's different tiers and different quality, but at the end of the day, $40, $50 for a cigar, I'm telling you, for the most part, most cigars, if they're charging that much, they ain't worth $40, $50. Now, most cigars, if they're charging $50, $60, it's not the MSRP. That's just added gouge. Like cars, right? They can't sell any more F-150s. Why? Because the $50,000 truck, they were charging $90. They were adding, factory surcharging. Because during the whole pandemic and all that bullshit, Oh, yeah. Who would buy a regular F-150? Imagine buying an F-150. Imagine buying this truck for $150 grand. What are you out of your mind?
Yeah.
What kind of making payments? $2 grand a month? Stop the gouge, baby. But don't worry about that. We count the womb. So my daughter's at 18, she already be 19. I count the womb. You know what I'm saying? Don't worry about that shit, baby. It's what it is. My daughter. You can't have it both ways in the state of New York. In the state of New York, right? How could you be a child to 21 in child support, but at 18, right, you could join the service, or 17 if you have permission from your parents. At 17, as far as other things, someone is the age of consent where they could date or get married, right? But 21, you got to pay the child support. You're not a child no more. Does that make any sense? And that's the double standard bullshit. It's only good for the woman, not good for the man. You know what I'm saying, though? How about you say, I don't identify as the father no more, right? Well, if a 21-year-old's getting child support, right? You're like, well, I'm not the father. What do you mean? I'm not the father anymore. I was only the father for 18 years. I had an 18-year contract. I don't know, man. No, by then we'll be in a civil war, Godzilla, end of the world, Sodom and Gomorrah, Antichrist. I'm not paying child support at 21 years old. I don't give a shit. When literally they're like, take the mark of the beast. And I'm like, no, I'm not going to take it. You got it. How are you going to pay your child support? I'm not taking the... Like, just put the 666 on your head, Richie, and then you can just pay your support. I'm like, nah, just kill me. Just kill me. It's all right. It's all right. I'm good. So I'm not worried about it. You know what I'm saying, though? I will pay child support as long as my daughter's a child. Thanks for another 99 cents. It adds up.
Who sent you 99 cents?
Gio.
Gio's a good man. I see he's a lot on your lives. I've seen him a few times on your live.
Yeah.
Where's Gio at? Where does Gio live?
Well, Gio's not a reliable guy. He means well. He's like Doubting Thomas. He means well, but he's not a reliable guy. He's a good guy, but he's not a reliable guy.
Is he on some of your lives and some of your things?
Yeah, you're bringing up a topic that I wasn't trying to go into, okay?
Well, don't go into it then.
Well, I'm Richie, I'm not going to lie.
Richie don't lie.
Gio, it is what it is. Gio's in the outer ring, okay? Christ had his 12 disciples. Gio would be in the other 12. Like, he wouldn't be in the tier 1 12 disciples.
I got you.
If they had backup ones, okay.
How many disciples do you have here, Big D? How many people actually do you have?
I don't even
Who
know.
comes on alive?
I mean, how many alive? We have 1,130. But how many people? I don't know who the other 1,130. I mean, we have like 7 or 8 guys that are always here. I don't know. I mean, that's what it is. I mean, no, there's more guys that come and go. There's a lot of guys that watch in Europe or Canada. More people are silent because they just want to watch, but they don't want to say nothing. Though.
Right.
But they'll make comments here and there, like later on. But
Okay. Hey, I want to shout out to the Anthonys that I met the last time you were here, Big D. So my men from New York, Anthony, I think from the city. Anthony was out east a bit.
Yeah, and I hope Anthony from out east.
I don't know if Anthony's
he's a little under the weather. I hope he gets well soon. And hope he's feeling better for the holiday season. Wow, $10 to Sean. He said, Geo 10 times 99 cents. Flex it here, baby. All right. Shit, Stash. If he keeps throwing 10s, you're gonna have to take your shirt off and start dancing. It is what it is. He said, Sacco. He said, for being loyal. It is what it is. Hey, well, appreciate the flex, man.
Yeah,
Merry Christmas.
And
Happy
thanks for
Hanukkah.
supporting my friend D. I know he's a very entertaining man, and he's a
It's a lot of work.
man. And
Yeah. It's easier to sit back and wait than to constantly put out content, and not just content. It's opening myself up here in a non-451 way. What I'm saying is, like, I last year I did 348 videos. How many days are in a year?
Wow.
Do the fucking math. It is what it is. He said, do the math. I can't stress out. It's a lot of work, man. But guys enjoy it, and there's so many different.
And Richie enjoys it.
I do enjoy. There's times where there's aspects I don't enjoy, where I get frustrated here. But it is.
Well, that's because you hit a rocky patch in the recent bit.
No, but
you have friends that were praying for you. You know,
but
people
I
love you,
get
Richie.
frustrated with the guys here too sometimes, though. Okay.
Well, it's like at a cigar lounge. You know what I'm saying, bro?
I mean, I need more reliability. I can't stress it enough. You know what I'm saying, though? There's nights where I'll have 20, 15 guys here, and one person's making a comment. And then, like, I take out my anger on the one person. And, like, I could see, like, right now there's 7 people, but some people are commenting. But even that's not accurate. Like, because people come and go, and, like, I think YouTube shadow banned it. You know what I'm saying? No, but here's what it is. He said, I did the meth, and I paid 20 for one time. Yeah. Paid the wrench. Hey, Sean, really appreciate that, brother. You didn't have to do that. It adds up. It is what it is. And it is what it is. So I've reached a point with Gio where I've accepted his unreliability, and he means well. At the same time, he hangs out here and have a good time. But okay, picture if there was like a DC universe, like you have Batman and Superman, that kind of universe of movies happening. He's not like a main superhero. He could be like a superhero that's not in the main A league. You know what I'm saying, though? So he's part of the show, but it is what it is. And he did it to himself. And it is what it is. All right? Richie's got feelings, and you know what I'm talking about, motherfucker. It is what it is. Okay? But it is what it is. I can't stress it enough. Sacco's like Toyota, reliable. Sacco is a Toyota. He's reliable. He drives a Rolls Royce, but Sacco is Toyota reliable. He said, brothers, of course. He said DVD. Remember, we'll talk about the DVD guy. Remember DVD?
Of course,
yeah.
of course.
Yeah, it is. It is. Okay, first off,
that was the Wild West there, bro.
Wild West.
That was good stuff, bro. That was
Stash is a witness, and we'll be careful with the story. Stash is a witness to tobacco world, the shenanigans. First off, the barbecues, the guys coming in and like chopping up meat and cooking food there.
Yeah.
Dave, now you talk about conspiracies. There was a guy, Davey, who had no teeth that smoked cigarettes, no cigars, but he ran the cigar shop. And this is in the beginning. And before that was the Greek guy. We'll talk about him. The guy that would watch pornography.
Eli.
We'll talk about that. So let's go back to the beginning. In the beginning of Tobacco World, 2012. Before that, it was Scotty's. In the beginning was Scotty's Cigar Lounge. Now, Scotty's, who was the fat guy that was in the fire department and people put dildos on his truck so his mom could see? Who was that guy?
I don't know. Oh, you're talking about.
You know what I'm talking about, right? He ended up buying the place.
Oh, it's Freddie.
Freddie. So in Scotty's became Freddie. Scotty's, and Scotty was an asshole. Scotty would duct tape and chain the TV remote to his desk because, right? Scotty was an asshole. Nobody liked Scotty.
But Davey worked for Scotty, and Davey was quite a character.
Because Davey was the kind of guy, like, picture like the angry, like, chef like, in the cafeteria. Oh, like cheeseburgers again? You don't like cheeseburgers? Let me tell you something. He would come around the corner and just start screaming, and he would say, let me tell you something. You could tell a story about anything, right? You could be like, yeah, I can count to the number 10. It's hypothetical. You're like, you think you can count, huh? Let me tell you something. You count to 10? I count to 11. Let me tell you something right now. You go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's it. Me, I got a whole nother number I got to do, and you won't fucking believe. He would just go off on a fucking. And he was a funny guy, and anyway. So, anyways, Davey was an interesting guy, and he ended up having drug problems, and he was trading cigars that weren't his for drugs with a biker.
Well, that's when from
that's a whole nother. Okay,
the other place.
Okay,
that was the Wild West.
Yeah.
That place was wild. Yeah, the DVD guy that was coming and selling his DVDs.
Well, let's go back to Scotty. So Scotty.
That's where I first
Scotty.
met you.
Yeah, we hang out there, and we had a piano there, and we used to play darts. But then Scotty fired David. All right. Mm-hmm. And so everyone that loved David left Scotty's to the to Tobacco World because
down by the train station.
Down by the train.
By the Conklin train
station.
So
Tobacco World hired Davey, and everyone left Scotty's to go down to Tobacco World. They followed like Davey because here's the thing about Davey. Let's say they close at 11 p.m. Right? You throw Davey 20, 30 bucks, and Johnny Stash would drive him home all the time. Davey had a hard life. We're not going to go into it, but he was a salt of the earth kind of guy. He was down for the cause. You threw 20, 30, 40 bucks to Davey, he'd keep the cigar lounge open to 3, 4 in the morning. He didn't give a fuck. I'm not joking, right?
Yeah.
3, 4 in the fucking morning. Guys would leave and come back. You're like, oh shit, you're still open? It's 3 o'clock. Like, you know what I'm saying though? And there was nights where we were doing a little sitting there, and then we had some ladies of the evening and everything. It was a Wild West. Wild West. You don't normally at a cigar lounge like, hey guys, should we get some women down here? Yeah. Lock the door and hit the lights. Like, it was a wild time. Everyone was drinking. I was drinking a lot back then. I was not going to go into too much into that, but it was wild. So then Davey was running it, and the other guy, Padrones, I won't say his first name. Padrones was smoking Padrones, but he was also
making deals with Davey.
He was making deals with Davey to get free Padrones, and he was giving him something else, which we're not going to say. So he was smoking Padrones. Listen, smoking free Padrone must have been nice.
Yeah. But that came to an end for Davey and
Padrones.
Sleeves. We just call them sleeves
Yeah.
because he's putting stuff in his sleeves.
He's putting cigars in his sleeves. But then, so Davey was trading for one thing with one guy for Padrones, and the other guy he was trading cigars for other things I don't want to say, and that was the biker or some of them. Where Davey worked there like 7 days a week. Davey was working like 12, like Davey be like, I've worked 100 hours this week. I can't do this anymore. I'm closing on time tonight at 10:30. And people be like, Davey, here's $100. We will stay open to 3 a.m. like everyone would just give Davey a couple of tips and he would stay open. Because how could you turn down the cash,
That was good times, my friend. But we're in new days.
Yeah, I gotta relight this because I was talking too much.
That's
about
when
Davey.
you were a man of war back then. There were a couple of tussles there.
I got allegedly. This was Richie's older times, and allegedly, Richie got into a few scuffles there. Scuffles, if you want to call it. We're not going to say what happened, but things happened. How about the other guy, the old guy who won't use his nickname, with the bag of potato chips?
Okay.
Remember he said, go fuck your mother?
Oh.
And then the guy said, well, my mother's dead. He said, well, I'll buy you a shovel. And then, you know what I'm saying? And then allegedly this guy, Richie, might have did something to that guy in front of a homicide cop.
Girl.
And the homicide cop didn't do nothing. And the guy in the movie said, You want overtime to the homicide cop? Like that guy was. I mean, that's pretty ballsy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, sure.
He left. He closed his paper and left. He washed his hands. He said, because the other guy, the homicide cop was honorable man, and for what that guy said, he didn't like that. That was if somebody tells you to go fuck your mother, and you say, hey man, don't joke like that. My mother's passed away. And he goes, oh excuse me, let me buy a shovel so you can dig her up and go fuck you. He went full. He like at that point, you're gonna get knocked the fuck out. You know what I'm saying?
Listen, is that sock I'll give him?
Yeah. So it was Otto. Anyone seen he said manager flex. Chewy said, let me tell you something. I paid double 99 cents. It is what it is. No, it was a wild time. There was individual characters, right? So the DVD guy, there was two DVDs, the girl and the guy. First was the guy, and the guy was in there selling DVDs, and he had the bad ones in the bottom. Oh, you want DVD? Yeah, naughty DVD on bottom. Yeah, and the DVDs were terrible quality. Yeah. And he said, no, my DVD number 1. You said, no, it didn't work. Don't work, you bring it back. I give refund, no problem. Well, tell everyone how the guy walked in. Imagine if you had imagine walking into a cigar lounge. What did he say? DVD.
What did he say?
DVD.
Oh yeah.
The DVD guy would walk. I'd be like,
the Asian guy.
That would be, but that would be like if you sold lobster and you walked into a store and you're like, lobster. He literally introduced himself. Like he would walk in the cigar lounge and he would say, DVD, and everyone would be sitting there going, smoking cigars, going DVD, trying to imitate the Asian accent. And he was a funny guy, man. He was a funny fucking guy. And that was the guy that offered me a girlfriend. I said, I don't want no DVD. And he said, oh, you want porno? I said, you want porno, big boy? I said, no, I don't want no porno. He said, oh, you want real thing? You want girlfriend? And then the guy next to him was like, what do you mean girlfriend? And that was Tumbles. You know what I'm saying? He's like, what do you mean girlfriend? He's like, he stopped. He looked around. He's like, I get your girlfriend. 1 month, 3,000. It's good. It's 3,000. 30 days, $100 a day. Good girlfriend. Bring to your house and pick up. Good girlfriend. Cook, clean, suck, fuck, do everything. And I was like, no, I can't do that. I can't do that. So anyways, yeah, but so the DVD guy wasn't just DVD. I mean, he was Chinese mafia. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't just, if you would have asked him for anything, which I'm not even going to say, but if you wanted click-clacks, he'd be like, oh, you want clock? No problem. Clock on bottom. On the DVD. Hey, okay, good. Clock no work. Bring back clock. I bring new clock. No problem. Clock good. Like this. Dude, if the guy has girlfriends for a month, I mean, he can have anything. Yeah. He said, how do you donate? He said, how do you donate to the Richie channel? You have a special account? I don't know. They have the, he wants the bubbles. We'll see.
There's some bubbles up there.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, well, I don't know.
Special effects.
What are you guys trying to have like a marathon, like a charity event? Tonight we're donating to the Richie Christmas Fund. It's been an expensive trip getting here. Every 99 cents goes straight to my ex-wife. Every time you do it, she smiles. Can't stress it enough. Is what it is. He said, bring back the bubbles. Is what it is. He said free Geo.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that was DVD. But then the female DVD, and she was like a not attractive woman.
No,
she was not an attractive woman. She wasn't like a hot Asian. She was like an old mama-san. And she'd come in, she'd be like, DVD, and it was like it wasn't the same energy. And then what happened was she would come in and we'd be like, nah, we're good. The other guy already came, and she'd be like, what other guy? And and then 99 cents. So then one day, DVD guy was there, smoking cigarettes, trying to sell porn or whatever his name. Nobody wanted to buy the porn. Richie Tumbles would buy it. But I know, anyways. Yeah. But then he would try to return it. He's a scumbag. Long story short, the female DVD lady came in. She's like, DVD, and the guy got a cigarette. He's like, what DVD? I'm DVD, and she's like, oh, kacha waka. And also she went right into some Chinese triad gangster shit. She's like, oh, kacha waka waka. And he's like, and she's like, and she's probably saying, this is my area. And he's like, oh, my area. And they got into a big fucking thing. They yeah, that was a real thing. That was, well, it was what it was. They were both trying to sell DVD. And then, okay, what else happened there?
Well, there was Donna.
Okay. Richie had some escapades there, many escapades. One girl, I'm not gonna say, but she became like a regular. Then you had Donna. Donna lived above the Subway station where they made the bread for Subway food, the Eat Fresh,
Which is right above the cigar shop.
Right above the cigar shop, and the apartment walls are really thin. This is the meaning to this story. And there was a guy that always come in to buy. He'd ask for 50 cents, so you could buy that cheap beer. It was a 99-cent beer. The tall boy, Arizona iced tea, made a beer. It was terrible, right? It was really cheap beer. Anyways, Richie went over to Donna's house, and her apartment smelled like Subway bread because it was right above the oven. It was a really shitty apartment. One thing led to another. We're doing the thing, and then Richie goes back to downstairs the apartment, bound to the cigar shop, smoking cigars. And that guy that was coming for the cheap beer, he had a little room he'd rent right next to Donna. And he came down there and he's like, hey, who's fucking Donna? And he's drinking his shitty beer. Like, what are you talking about? He's like, man, that wall was bouncing. He's like, somebody was throwing her head against the fucking wall. It's like, yeah, it was me. He's like, yeah, man, you're a fucking... So it was just funny that the guy, he said it smells like flatbread. What was that guy's name? It wasn't that the guy that...
Captain America, wasn't he coming to those cartoon suits?
It was Captain America, yeah.
Is that the same guy we're talking about? I think so.
Who was the guy that had the problem with the guy? Where they took him outside? Didn't he threaten someone there? He came in.
He might have.
And he did this, or he pulled on, right? And then when they went outside, he had a knife or something like that.
Possibly.
Remember that whole system? Okay.
It was the Wild West.
Yeah, that was. And then what about Davey? Davey had a chain, and he was like, "That's nothing." And he was swinging the chain with the lock.
Yeah.
And who did he hit in the face?
I don't recall.
He hit someone in the face. I can't remember who he hit in the face. Yeah, it is what it is. So it was, and then there was the Indian woman, the blonde hair.
I might need a touch up here.
Yeah. Here, let me help you. You had the window totally open, and the wind will mess with your burn. Just let it go. Just a touch. And then just kind of break off. This should just break off. Yeah, so anyways, it was the Wild West. It was doomed to fail. And then the other guy, Chris, took over when so going back to Eli. Before Davey got fired from Scotty's, Eli was the father of the owner of Tobacco World. And Eli was running. He was an old Greek guy, old school Greek guy. Picture Greek diner. And Eli was running the cigar lounge. Everyone hated Eli. People would come in, and Eli would be watching pornography on the computer. And, they sold candy bars there, like soda, too. So, one time I was in there, and he's like, oh, hey, Big D, look, man, look, what's this video? And you're like, oh, yeah. And, this woman came in trying to buy a candy bar for a kid. I'm like, Eli, turn this shit off. There's a kid here with a mother. And he's like, wow, what's the problem? What's the problem? Eli was a dirty old man. I'm sorry, Eli. When customers that come in, come on. Eli was uncomfortable. Nobody liked Eli. Dude, come on. Dude, come on. It was fucking weird, man. Eli was fucking weird. Eli was so bad, his own son fired him, right? Remember? Yeah. His own son dude, the guy was playing pornography with customers in there, with kids trying to buy candy bars. And Eli's like, hey, you want a Kit Kat? And in the background, you're like, fucking guy was fucked up, man. Eli was probably a pedophile. Maybe Eli's hanging out with Epstein, you know? I'm talking too much. I want the cigar to go out. It happens.
So what is everybody smoking out there in the lounge?
I don't know.
What is Sacco smoking, and is Gio still with us?
Yeah, Gio's around. He's reliable when he wants to be.
I didn't bring my glasses, so I can't read that.
He said no kids with candy bars. Exactly. He said he's smoking an LFD Solo. LFD's a great brand. He said, if you need porn, I got every fetish. Nah, we're good. Nah, we're good. We're gonna let that go. We're gonna, is what it is. He said, giving dome to the Woody. He said Richie was giving Donna the foot long. Yeah, and then
you have a lot of laughs here at the lounge. That's good stuff, bro.
But then Donna, it turned out Donna, the last time that guy in this movie, right? In this movie, the last time that guy Richie, he banged Donna, and then he went back to the lounge to smoke cigars. Richie didn't know that Donna was clinically depressed. She was suicidal. So in this movie, Richie had consensual sex with this woman. He went back downstairs and he's smoking a cigar, right? Well, the next day, the girl in the movie, Donna, came down to buy cigarettes, and she had a ring around her neck. And the guy said, "What happened?" And she said, "Oh, well, Richie came by to have sex last night, but then afterwards, I was really depressed because, I think I'm sick, and I hung myself, but the ceiling fan broke." Like, fucking, thank God they had terrible construction in that place. You know what I'm saying, though? So, that guy Richie dodged the bullet. How do you explain that? You know what I'm saying, though? Like, I mean that's like a movie, like the guy's getting framed. Like you're literally, here's what it is. Here's what it is. Now you gotta ask the woman before you go home with her. Are you sad? Like when I leave, are you okay? Gotta watch out for loose women. My uncle always said, a loose woman is like a horse with no saddle. You gotta, she's gonna kick you off, or you can't ride it for too long. You're gonna break your neck. He said Maduro Natural.
Nice. Who's that?
I don't Stash, but I'm not sure what cigar he's talking about. The Solus only comes in one wrapper, so I don't know what he's talking about. Oh, San Cristobal? No, but San Cristobal.
Nice.
Yeah, I don't know. Oh, Padron 90, that's what we say. Sacco smoking the 90th, great cigar. And, I prefer the Maduro on those. Let's have a little party in here. He said, Jeremy had them in the humidor here. Padron 90s. All Padrones are nice. I enjoy Padrones. So you went to that thing pretty quick. Overall, how strong do you think that was? Medium strength?
I would say this medium.
Mm-hmm. The finish on your tongue, like, is it a long finish? Is it short? And is it heavy, or is it medium? Like how much is there flavor staying on your tongue at all?
Yeah, I think I'm getting some like vanilla notes. I think.
No, but how long? Well, I'm talking about now, not the flavor.
Okay.
How long, like the echo? How long is it reverberating on the tongue between puffs? Not while you're puffing it. After you puff, does the flavor stay on the tongue?
Yeah.
So that's the long finish thing. Does that make any sense?
Mm-hmm.
Now, the flavor that's on your tongue, does it feel like it's like one coat of paint or more than one? Then if there's more than one, then it's a heavy finish. Does that make any sense?
No, it's not a heavy finish.
So it's a long finish, but not a heavy finish. So do you see those two things could go either way? It could be four possibilities. You could have long and heavy but not long but not heavy. You see what I'm saying, though? So
I gotta check.
Holy shit, $20. He said quality soaps, 5 showers a day, wash your balls, three different tent soaps. He said fresh. Sacco flex. You see, you ain't gonna outflex the Sacco. You ain't gonna outflex the Sacco, man. That's it, baby. Hey, pretty soon, man, I'm gonna buy this truck. How much you want for it? How much you want for this thing?
Just fill it up when you're done.
What's that? He's gonna start charging me rent. He said, "Hey, you made $500 this show." He said, "Hey, Sacco, appreciate it. Another 99 cents. Watch out, baby." He said, "The math adds up, baby." Here's what it is. I'm glad you guys come on down. This is a nice holiday time. Listen, look, life's rough. Okay. At the end of the day, life has no mercy for men. Right? Women get plenty of mercy. They do. The same crime a woman will do less time than a man. My ex-wife today, I told you, what's it? Oh, shit, another $10 match. Holy shit. He said,
who's this?
Sean, he already dropped 10. Another 10. He matched it. He says, now he dropped 22. We got a competition, baby. Sean dropped 20. Sacco dropped 20. Holy shit.
Hey, it's the giving season. And you have friends, D. And always remember that. People love you.
Well, my biggest friend is God.
Yes.
No one can compete with that, okay? Because he's there for me even if no one's there for me. But also at the same time, I think through my hard work and humility, because I don't think I'm better than anyone here, but I know I'm not worse. I appreciate this place and I respect everyone's time. And I think, holy shit, another 99 cents. Dropping it like it's hot. It's a great community we have here, and there's been highs and lows, and it is what it is, man. But my ex-wife, what did I say to her today? Oh, because it started off. She was wrapping the presents I bought for my daughter. I said, "Could you wrap them? Because I'm gonna wrap them like shit, you know." She said, "Okay," but then so when she was wrapping them, she's like,
Did she charge you for the wrapping paper?
No. But she said, she's like, well, at least you could have done, you could have thanked me for wrapping the presents. I said, thank you for wrapping the presents. And I was like, what's the best thing in your life? And she's like, my daughter. I'm like, yeah. So how do you think it was when I lost the best thing in my life? And she's like, that's two different topics. You still owe me a thank you for wrapping. I said, you think you wrapping my presents is equal to you stealing my kid and my money and I'm paying for child support? And my kids are sitting there. And I said, let's not go too much into it. But still, she's like, no, I want to thank you. You think wrapping my presents for my daughter that I paid for makes up that when I came home one day, my kid was gone, my money was gone, and then the next month I got to pay child support, but you wrap my bread? And I'd be like, John, hey, John, I sold your truck on Craigslist. But, John, I bought you a cigar. You're like, it's good.
Wait a minute, I thought Sacco gave me this cigar.
But you get what I'm saying? No, I mean, if I sold your car.
Gotcha.
Yeah, without your permission, obviously, be a scumbag. So how much worse is the steal? And she said, well, that's the way it is. She's like, it's like you and all the rest of the men in the world that get divorced, that's just what happens. I said, that's not what always used to happen. Only maybe in the past 50 years.
What did you tell her?
Well, I'm not going to go too. But I just said, 100 years ago, you take a man's kid, that's kidnapping. But you know what I'm saying? No, so, I mean, it is what it is. But as the society they've allowed entices women to steal the kid. I can't stress it enough. So, did you enjoy that cigar?
Very much.
I have another one for you.
Okay.
So later on, see, you're the only person in the world right now probably smoking a Casa de Sacco. Think about that. No, really think about it. I mean, like a few of the guys in the lounge Sacco sent them to, but like, no guarantee to smoke one right now. So you're the only one in the state in New York smoking that cigar. Think about how beautiful it is that Sacco made that in his labor of love. You know what I'm saying?
I was going to ask Sacco, how long does it take you to roll one of these cigars?
You got to ask him because he has blending, and then he puts it in the mold, and then he's got to wrap it. Because I think after he blends it, he has to let it lose some moisture, because it's very wet when you make the filler in the binder, right? To make the shape. And if you put the wrapper on when it's wet, as it dries out, it might separate. You know what I'm saying, though? Because the gauge is going to shrink a little bit, if that makes any sense. Mm-hmm. So you can't wrap it right away. That's why they put it in the mold without the wrapper. And then once the cigar takes the shape of the mold, then you can wrap it. You know what I'm saying, though? It's got to be formed. Community guidelines is what it is. I'll tell you what, I'm actually enjoying this cigar. I think it's definitely better aged.
What kind of rating would you give it?
4.4, which is, I go 0 through 5, but from 4.0 up, those really matter. To me, if a cigar is less than 4.0, I mean, it's just a piece of shit. If it operates and it's good flavor, but maybe nothing to write home about, that's if that's 4.0. Because, if a cigar is 2.5, then it's a piece of shit, like, what I'm saying? So, anything above 4.0 is good, in my opinion. 4.3, 4.4 starts becoming very good. 4.6 and 7 is like amazing, and then 4.8 and up is like godlike cigar. Like this is like like just lights out. That's what it is. He said, "I'm too lazy right now, but I would like to go to a factory and learn." Yeah, that's what it is. He said, "Sacco, we are less than." Now, Sacco's a humble man. He said he doesn't rush. He said, "I make 10 a day after work."
Nice.
It's a lot of work, man. It's a lot of work. I mean, his attention to detail. And then after he rolled them, he aged those for a year. So he rolled them all, even when it was all done. And the tobacco, There's a difference between aged tobacco and aged cigar. I know it sounds stupid, but there is. If you have young tobacco that's not that aged, and then you roll it and then age it as a cigar, it will never ferment as much as from the factory when they ferment all the tobacco, just the leaves. So picture the leaves all in bales and they're fermenting, right? So let's say you have the 3 years of age, and then you roll those tobaccos into a cigar. That will have more age than if you have a cigar with 1 year of age, but let it sit for 3 years. Once it's as a cigar, because fermentation happens from all the weight and the heat that happens in the piles. Does that make any sense?
Mm-hmm.
So it's more important to have aged tobacco, and then secondary part is important, but you don't have to do an aging room for 5 years. Whereas you're better off having 5-year-old tobacco and then rolling it and even letting it sit for 3 or 4 months or 6 months is better than young tobacco being letting it sit for. So you can't take something that's okay and thinking and then make it a cigar and let it sit 5 years, then it become a masterpiece. It doesn't work that way. You got to do the work up front, have good fermentation tobacco, and then the blend, of course, is a whole other issue. You could have good tools, but if you have workers that are not doing that good job, then it's not a good blend. Does that make any sense? You could have a good quality tobacco, but a poor choice of a blend. So picture the cigar as a team. You know what I'm saying, though? So it's a lot of work. You know what I'm saying, though? And then the construction and the performance, that's a whole nother issue, man. So it's a lot of give and take. That's why these master blenders, picture any cigar you enjoy day in, day out, let's say like Padron. They're pretty consistent, huh? You've been enjoying Padron over 10 years, right?
Oh, yeah.
And they always taste the same. So it's harder to keep things the same with all the variables. Because every year they have more rain, they have bigger leaves, but they're weaker, they're not strong. So they have to use some higher primings to keep the flavor the same. If they have more sun but less rain, small leaves, less load, but they're stronger. So now they have to use lower primings for the same blend. You know what I'm saying, though? So it's like they have to compensate, they have to adjust. Just like life. You have some highs and lows or issues that might happen, but you adjust to survive. To stay consistent, So if I start from scratch, I could do 10 cigars in 3 hours, not counting the time it takes to prepare the tobacco. Here's what it is.
Okay.
Well, Sacco, wow, yeah, that's fucking amazing. Sacco needs a team. I think if Sacco wanted to, he could make his own premium line of cigars. We get a nice band or something like that on that, because his cigars, in my opinion, are just as good as other brands' $20 cigars. I'm talking about premium cigars. They're great cigars. The tobacco and the quality, the roll and the construction is better. It's top. It's right there with Davidoff or Atabey. It really is. It's top notch. If a regular brand was doing that, it would be a very expensive cigar. Because then they'd be adding a really expensive box and everything else, and then hyping it up, and it is what it is. Yeah, it's actually quite tasty. Got some vague spice to it. Lot of black pepper, good amount of earth, coffee. There is some twanginess to it. There is some sour and sweetness to it. Like a pungent sweetness, like lip puckering. The finish is pretty long and pretty heavy. 65-70% darkness. Overall, I'm actually enjoying it better now, where it's at right now, than the 4 years didn't hurt it. So, not that no one cares, because Rocky Patel is a brand that no one's going to buy and go, I'm going to save it now for 4 years. But because I looked at the box, I saw it's 4 years. How many other times am I going to have a chance to say, let me try a cigar, but that was sitting for 4 years? Sometimes it makes it a little better. Sometimes it does nothing, or sometimes it makes it worse. In my opinion, though, with Padrones and Dream Life sent me them, the 26 with 4 years of age changed less than the 64 with 2 years. It was amazing how somehow in the same humidor, 2 years of age on the 64 made it more. It lost more balls. So picture the 64 was pretty strong, and let's say it's up here normally. It lost a good amount of strength, where the 626 is a little less stronger but more sweet. It didn't lose as much with double the time. So you can't say aging a cigar is appropriate for every cigar. It's not equal. Picture like if you look outside, not everything ages the same. The trees, your house, the car. Time is affecting everything, but you get what I'm saying, though. If you have a leaky roof, the inside of the house is going to age faster than if it's not leaky. So, there's a lot of factors when it comes to cigar. Time ages everything, but just like people, right? People live a harder life. if you're doing drugs or a lot of heavy drinking and not getting sleep and not taking your vitamins, not exercising, you're going to age faster than, eventually time gets us all, but you get what I'm saying. Wisdom will slow down the hands. You know, you give you more time. He said, you try that crooked diamond soccer? Oh, no. Marco came in, nobody cares. Yeah, shut the fuck up. He said, just had peanut M&Ms. Shout out to my boy Josh. Josh is always talking about chicken nuggets and brownies. Josh makes brownies in 2-day reserves. So how many brownies you make? I make a 2-day load. He's living his best life. I love that guy. He's just like, yeah, make it. He's like, because he made a big pan. I said, how many brownies is that? I mean, like, it's a 4 or 5. He goes, that's 2 days. He measures his brownies by days, Which, oh man, that's an honest man. You know what I'm saying? He's the guy that makes his own bullets, but he blew up his gun because he put too much powder. He put too much powder. And he's so honest about it. He's like, yeah, look, I put too much powder in the barrel. And he's like, I think I can fix it. Dude, just buy a new barrel. No. Oh, man, it's funny characters, man. Interesting with stash shows by Cubans. Now, I know in our past and in your past, I wouldn't say you have had tons of Cubans. You have more non-Cubans like Padrones and Davidos, but we had that connection for a while with Cubans, and so I wasn't like we're smoking them every day, but there was a time we would smoke Cubans at least once a week, sometimes or more.
That was a good connection that I hooked us.
Those were legitimate. How did you get that connection? Explain that situation.
Well, a place where I used to get my mowers, buy my mowers, and have my machines fixed for my business. He was a cigar smoker, and. So, well, I got
this guy had a lot of money. This guy had a lot of money.
Yeah, and he had a nice Cuban connection. And for a while, it was like 2 or 3 years at least. Yeah, Padrones, and they weren't very pricey. I mean, dude, $25 to $30 tops.
Yeah, well, which was expensive. They were more expensive than non-Cubans back then, but they were still. How do you say? Now the price of Cubans has gone. We'll go talk about 10 years ago. Oh, man, maybe 7, 8 years. It was a while. I was in the basement over here. So it was a while ago. Maybe 2014, 15, 16, around then. We were getting Cohiba Siglos, we were getting Partagas D's, Monte Cristo number 2s, and back then I think it was like maybe $15, $20, depending on the cigar. So, and if you bought more, he gave you a deal. He wasn't selling them for profit.
No.
So he would let you pay what he paid to his connection. So, and the cigars were phenomenal, man. He was a huge Cuban collector. And then he sold the business to the younger guy, right?
Yeah.
And the young guy did it, but then the connection died.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it is what it is. I really liked the San back then. Remember, I don't know if you had I liked the San Cristobal. Cuban was really nice with that brown band. Monty 2s were always great. The Cohiba was great.
The Mojikas too, no?
He had the Mojikas one time though, and I think we paid a lot of money back then, even for him. They were not, I think like 40 or something more than that house, something like that. But that was still back then. Now those cigars you're talking about, maybe $150, $200, a piece. Every Cubans have gone. Regular Monte number 2s now people are spending, $40, $50. It's not cheap, Regular Romeo and Juliet's guys spend, $20 to $40 on it, Forget about Siglo 6 now costs $100. Now my father maybe went to Italy, he got me them for $30 and change a piece. So, but that was 7, 8 years ago. That was a lot of money back then for a cigar. Still a lot of money now, but 8 years ago, nobody had a $30 cigar. Even Padrones back. How much were Padrones like back then? We're talking about like when we first at Scotty's. Yeah, Padrones were what, $14 or something like that, maybe $16.99 for Padrones. That was a lot. That was the top shelf. Like
inflation, baby.
Exactly.
We can thank the bankers. Yeah, the money changes.
Yeah, it's just the inflation goes up, but also as brands get more prestige, they know you're going to buy it. You know what I'm saying? Though supply and demand. If their supply is getting sold out, right, you're going to raise the price because you know why not? It's a business model, right? You're going to go. If you had guaranteed customers and they're like, Johnny, I'll never leave you no matter what. You're like, no matter what, next year it's double. You know what I'm saying? But of course, that's a different situation. Yeah. San Cristobal is owned by Ashton, but it's contracted through. Ashton has Ashton, it has San Cristobal, and it has on the non-Cuban side, and it has the other one, La Roma de Cuba, I believe. La Roma de Cuba and San Cristobal on the non-Cuban side is made by my father, where Ashton itself is made by Fuente. Ashton as a company doesn't make cigars. They're what's called a proprietor. They contract it out. It'd be like if you had a landscape business, but you didn't do any of the work. You just contract it out. You had all the bids, and you say, I got 5 different guys that do all my jobs, and you sublet it out. You know what I'm saying? Though? So Ashton doesn't make the cigars. It's either Fuente or the other brands is my father, Nicaragua. Which in some ways I think is a smarter idea, believe it or not. Because when you contract cigars out, if you have reputable companies like Fuente and my father making cigars for you, they're gonna do a better job than you could. Why get a factory? Why have all the land? And then you could change up. You could say, I don't want the cigar anymore. I want to make this kind of blend. And it's not like you're storing the tobacco. So, whereas if you're making a cigar, you got to have, most of the time they have 2 or 3 years of tobacco ahead for supply, if you're ready. But if you got a bad year, what if you run out of supply and people still want the cigar? Either you got to change the blend. Let's just say you have enough tobacco, but the wrapper, you don't have enough. So either you got to change the blend, or sometimes they make a special version, but just because they didn't have the right material. There's a lot that goes on to that.
So tell me about that experience with the Woody. I saw you smoking that Woody the other night.
It was terrible. It almost killed me. I was sucking so hard on that thing.
I thought you were gonna blow up.
Yeah, dude, and I couldn't get no flavor. I couldn't get nothing.
There was no smoke.
No smoke. I couldn't. It was. I tried. Dude. That was. I did a lot of work, man. I smoked that for an hour, 5 inches in that cigar out of 21, and I couldn't get nothing out of it. So at that point,
You gave up.
5 inches on an 80 gauge. It's a lot, man. 5 inches on an 80 gauge would be like 10 inches on a 40 gauge, like a Lancero. It's 10 inches. That's a lot of tobacco you get to get nothing, He said, sucking so hard. It is what it is. Just the way you like it, Trebek. It is what it is, though. Stash, on a scale of 0 through 5, how happy are you to see your friend, Big D?
6. It's off the Richter scale.
I can't stress enough how reliable Stash is. But, and on both ways, though, how reliable is Big D as a friend? How much do you trust Big D?
With my life. With my family.
And for the record, I didn't try to rob a cigar shop. I was just sitting there. I bought the cigar, and I was just sitting there. I had 15 minutes to kill. I will go back to that. So I buy a cigar. I go back. It's 8:30. I go back in my car, and then a few minutes later, the guy closes the shop, and I'm just sitting there on my phone because in 15 minutes, I got to go pick up my kid literally down the street. So I figured, why move? I'll just sit here, right? I'm on my phone. And some guy showed up, and he said, he waved to my window. I'm like, oh, what's going on? It's a dark parking lot. And he's like, I'm like, yeah, what's up, buddy? Is there a problem? He's like, oh, well, the landlord, I work for the landlord. He called me because he got robbed 3 times. I'm like, what does that got to do with me? Well, he's just worried because he sees your truck there, and he's worried that you're going to rob the place. I said, I just spent money in there with my fucking credit card, my name. I'm not going to rob the place. Why would I go in there on camera, buy a Rocky Patel, and then rob you? You think I'm going to, you get what I'm saying, though? So whatever. He's like, no, I'm not saying you're going to rob it. He's like, he's just worried. So he's like, but he already called the cops. I'm like, you already called the cops? I said, I'll stay here for the cops. He's like, well, I don't want you to have no trouble. I'm like, there's no trouble. I didn't rob nobody. He's like, yeah, but he was robbed 3 times. I go, but that's not my fault. If your neighbor robs somebody, are they going to put you in jail? That's not my fault. That's not how America works. Well, you know how it is. No, I don't know how it is. What did I do? And there was no sign saying, he's like, well, it's private property. I said, was it private property when I parked this car here 20 minutes ago to go buy a cigar? What the hell is it? Yeah, I understand it's not my property. If it's not your property, it's someone else's property. But I bought something, and I'm just hanging out 15 minutes. He said, I heard a Leave a V is a very collectible cigar. A Leave a V is a good standard cigar, but it's not a collectible. You're a funny guy. Make it rain, baby. He said, yeah, 99 cents is what it is. 3.0 is what it is. So, I got to get back to Colorado, man. I don't know. You have no rights here. People are a lot more disrespectful. You know what I'm saying, though? It's a different vibe. Colorado, literally everyone is strapped. So you wouldn't pull up to a stranger in your car. Hey, what are you doing here? Oh, I don't know. I'm just sitting here being American. My First Amendment rights, go fuck yourself. My Second Amendment rights, I'm strapped. And what else do you want? This is my Fourth Amendment rights. This is my property. What did I do wrong here? Oh, I'm sorry. Have a nice day. God bless you. That's it. You know, I'm not robbing no one. I'm just existing. But in New York, man, people are just more disrespectful because it it's a less God fearing society. So people don't treat each other here like the brothers and sisters that we are. We're God's children. Have a little respect. You know what I'm saying? Here, you know, that's why you're a diamond in the rough in New York. You know what I'm saying, though. But you don't belong here no more. I hope you can get out of here. Where would you go?
Probably out west somewhere.
Montana or something like that, or
I like Montana. It's the Northwest is pretty nice.
yeah,
My son moved out to Idaho. I did some traveling after my sister passed away. I went to the great state of Washington, did the Olympic Loop. Anybody got a chance?
Johnny loves to travel. Tell him about some of your escapades, traveling, going to Sturgis, just all the road trips. Tell him about the shit you've done.
Well, Sturgis was a nice trip. That was back in '03. I had just bought my first nice bike. It was a Honda 750 Ace, and that was sweet. And I just bought a new diesel truck. I put it on the back of my truck, and I drove all the way to South Dakota, did the Sturgis thing. Then from Sturgis, I went into Colorado, went to Estes National Park, not too far from where you're at. Beautiful, beautiful views.
Yeah.
You know, but the trip I took with my lovely wife after my sister passed away last year, we went into Washington, did the Olympic Loop, which is comprised of 3 different ecosphere. You're talking about the mountains, the Olympic Mountain, then you're talking about the rainforest, the whole rainforest. So I was telling my lovely wife, let's go hoe. We're going to go hoeing in the rainforest, in the whole rainforest. And then from there, we went to the Pacific Ocean. And after spending like 3 days in the great state of Washington, doing that Olympic Loop, anybody get a chance, check that out. We drove to Idaho, where my son resides. And he actually lives in a town called Moscow, Idaho, where those college murders happened a year or two so ago.
Interesting.
And he loves it.
Idaho's beautiful.
Oh yeah, gorgeous, gorgeous.
Low crime.
Yeah, it's nothing really goes on there. And then spending a few days there, we headed up to Montana, went to Glacier National Park. After Glacier National Park, we went to Yellowstone. That was beautiful. Those pools, those geothermal wonders. And then from there, we went to the Grand Tetons. Then we finished up with the Rocky Mountains. And right before I headed to Big D's house, we did a whirlwind of trip. Did about 3,000 miles in the vehicle. I didn't buy it. I rented a nice Mustang convertible.
Yeah.
Went down to Hot Springs, Colorado. All these beautiful hot tubs that were fed from the local, springs. Ranging from 98 degrees to 118.
You needed
all
that.
outside.
You needed that trip because the past.
Oh yeah.
How long?
And then I ended up in Denver with you.
Yeah, we had a great time, man.
It was a nice time. So.
How long did you take care of your sister when she was sick?
Oh, about 2 months. She was on hospice. We took her in, my lovely wife and I, and took care of her till last dying day, which was not this past Labor Day or the Labor Day before. So it was a blessing, like you said. It's not a burden; it was an honor, and
Yeah,
like a birth.
Your sister was going to die either way, but it was your duty to do it with dignity and let her transfer over to the spirit world without fear. She was at peace with God. She was a humble woman, very sweet, caring woman. Not a mean bone in her body. You know what I'm saying, though? And God says, the meek will inherit the earth. She was very, very kind.
Like the story I like to tell about my sister. She was one day, and she lived on a fixed income. She had some mental disabilities, and she lived on a fixed income, and she lived at a trailer not far from here, from where I live, on Long Island. And but anyway, years ago, it was one winter, and I'm like, Janet, where's your winter coat? She goes, I gave it away. I'm like, why? Well, because somebody else needed it more than me. I was like, well, who'd you give it to? Well, I went to get recertified for my benefits, and I saw a pregnant woman at the center,
The Social Security.
and she needed she needed a jacket. So I said, that brought tears to my eyes, and I said, Janet, don't worry about it. I'll get you a new jacket.
But that's
No.
when someone gives and that's all they have.
Yeah.
She was a saint. You know what I'm saying? Though she
Beautiful,
was.
beautiful.
We can all learn from that.
Yeah.
You know, and count our blessings. You know what I'm saying? Though.
Yeah.
Count our and the same thing when it comes to cigars. I don't care if you're smoking low, mid tier, or going up to Patron and Davidoff, or you're lucky enough to smoke a Casa de Saco. Whatever you got, smoke it and be content.
Yeah.
There's always going to be something. Oh, but I want this one, huh? You know, yeah, sure, you want to try different cigars, but at a certain point, you're just an asshole smoking a cigar. There's nothing wrong being content.
No.
Because you can learn from that. Whether you're based or
or
bound,
bound. There you go.
whether you're high or low, you know, it's been a rough past few months for me, and you know that. And I don't want to go into my personal situation because it's no one's business here in a public venue. But I decided just to keep trucking through.
It's like I told Big D today. I says, you know, D, some of these mountains that we have to climb that are put before us, these storms that we go through, but these mountains are given to us because it becomes our stepping stone to greatness. You know, and sometimes we have to go through the adversity. Sometimes we have to be refined through the fire, and that's what happened to you, and it happens to all of us. You know, and you're passing the test with flying colors.
You can let it make or break you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Though? And that's a personal decision. You can't control the adversity, but you could decide how you respond to it.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? No, you could, you know, it's like if you like an issue, whether it's with a cigar's wet or if the wind's blowing. If your burn is off, you could sit there and go, "Wow, I got a bad burn," or you could touch it up. Just touch it up and move on, right? You know what I'm saying? No. And sometimes life you just need a little touch up. Sometimes you're so close to success, but you don't realize it because you think you're gonna quit. Yeah, you know, and quitting, man, is no option. Because know why? With men.
Got those matches.
Yeah, with men, nobody really cares. You have to care about your own life. You know, you look to see how many homeless men there are. You know what I'm saying, though? You know, life doesn't give men really a chance, let alone a second chance. That's why if you have good friends or family, hold on to them, but don't abuse that situation. Care for one another and whatever you have, and being kind is listen, being kind is one of the most powerful things you could do for yourself and everyone else. It costs nothing to be kind. It really doesn't. You know what I'm saying, though? And sometimes giving away something or helping someone else out, it helps you out more, actually. Because you're like, wow, I'm blessed enough to help someone else out. You know what I'm saying? And it makes you
It's better to give than to receive. It's a blessing to give.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, man. So, it is what it is. Whatever you got, be content. It is what it is. Because if it's never enough, it's never going to be enough. I mean, look at my ex. It's never enough. You know what I'm saying? No, it is what it is. How come you didn't thank me for wrapping the presents? Oh, I'm sorry. Let me get the band out. Strike the harp. Thank you so much. You want fireworks? It is. It is what it is, man. But
Are you tired, Big D? You didn't get much sleep.
I didn't get any sleep. And there's a long day of travel and a lot of driving. But I'm wired. It is what it is. When I close my eyes tonight, man.
Yeah, it's already 1:20 Eastern time. In Colorado, it would be what?
11. But I've been up since. What's today now? Wednesday. This is Wednesday. No, we're Thursday. We're Thursday 1:20 a.m. I have been up since Tuesday at like 9 o'clock a.m. and I haven't.
You couldn't sleep the night that you were leaving.
No. So I went to work Tuesday. Tuesday night, Wednesday morning early. I tried to go to sleep, couldn't sleep. Just packed up my shit, showered, got fresh, did a live with the guys in the ghetto in a bad area. That was a rough video, man. That was a rough area. That was bad. And it was. My flight went well though. So it was just it is what it is. I got to skip the security line. I was telling Stesh, this woman. I asked this woman because I was walking to this.
You had two blessings today. Tell the guys.
Yeah,
I want to take a leak.
Oh yeah, they hooked me up with on Delta. They gave me free luggage for veterans. That was very nice of them. And then afterwards I went to go through security, and it was over an hour line. It was a big line to security. But then I heard somebody say something, and people went the other way. So I went the other way, and I asked somebody who was pushing a lady in a wheelchair. I said, "Well, what's this way?" She said, "No, that's if you have the pre-boarding pass. You know, like the extra security, whatever. You got to pay." And I said, "No, I don't have that." And she goes, "Well, follow me." And so I'm following this woman who's pushing a woman in a wheelchair. And she was a younger woman. She just had hip surgery or whatever the hell. She was an attractive girl. But I guess she had her hips blown out. I don't know how. Don't judge. So as I'm walking with this woman, I'm like, "Wait, so where are you taking me?" And then we're getting towards the security, and the line's an hour. And she goes, "No, stay with me." And I was like, "Okay." So I stay with her, and she brings us through like this back area where they let all the people with wheelchairs, they cut the line. So I'm standing right next to the lady in the wheelchair, and the woman, she scans her ID and scans the girl in the wheelchair, and she says to him, "Oh, yeah, they're together. This is her husband." Oh man. Bada bing, bada bing. We're breaking the joint. Is what it is. So yeah, I got to skip the hour line of security. What did he say? Well, here's what it is. So it started off the day nice. So here's what it is. And now it looks like a horror show. Look at this lighting over here. Look at this.
Yep.
Yeah.
Stop
It
it.
looked like that is what it is. So overall, 0 through 5, and with the four series being a 4.1 to 4.9, where would you put that cigar overall as a Connecticut cigar?
Say that again. I'm sorry.
Where would you rate that cigar? 0 through 5, but once you get to 4, you have 4.1 through 4.9. Where would you put that cigar overall? Your honest opinion.
4.3, 4.4.
So it's a good cigar.
Yeah.
You enjoyed this cigar.
Yes, sir.
I'm glad you enjoyed that, man. That came.
Well, I
all the way
enjoyed your company even more, brother.
It's what it is, man. Well, that came all the way from Colorado, but it came all the way from California. So that thing had to go from
Travel some miles.
It traveled 3,000 miles to get to your mouth. It is what it is. Sounds kind of kinky, baby. Man, the temperature really dropping outside, huh?
Yeah. Turn the heat up a little bit.
Wow. You think we're gonna get snow out here for Christmas or no?
I don't know. That's why it's cool.
This thing's
You
really
know,
smoking
that
good smoke output. I can't believe on this thing. I'll tell you what, these in aged LB1 Rocky Patel, I'm gonna bump it up to a 4.5. I really enjoyed it, but no one's gonna buy it and age it for 5 years, so who gives a shit? But it was just a small one-off experiment. But I did enjoy it though. Here's what it is. You say go and here's what it is. But yeah, so yeah, I guess I got married to a handicapped woman today. But she said she got new hips. She was an attractive girl too.
Yeah.
But I don't know what happened to her hips. She got blown out. I didn't ask. She was young. She was maybe like 30 years old. She looked nice. But she blew her hip out. I don't know. Maybe a little too much fun. I don't know. What are you doing tomorrow?
What's tomorrow? Oh, I do some jail ministry out in Riverhead.
Oh, you're gonna go to the jail?
Yeah, because they're going to be closed this Sunday.
That's not what they
So-
about. Stash does a lot of charitable work. Doesn't brag about it. I've seen Stash go to a restaurant, spend good money, and bring catered food. One of your clients, the wife died, right?
No, yeah.
And he went out and spent his own money, who he takes care of their property, and just brings them food and spend time with them. This guy's a class act, really. You know what I'm saying, though? Class act. But and you do. How long do you stay at the jail? Like 2 hours?
No, it's about an hour and 20 minutes we're allowed.
Is it a safe situation when you go to the jail?
Oh yeah. We have great favor from the Lord, and
No one's there looking to stab anyone or anything.
no.
Do they have a prison guard there, or?
Oh yeah. There's a CO that watches the room. You know, so it's a blessing. So I got that at 3:30.
That's got to be a good feeling going in and then leaving.
Oh yeah.
You're like,
There's no cigars in prison.
No, but does it remind you to keep yourself in check?
Oh,
'Cause
yeah.
remember, you're not special. You could be in that jail.
Oh,
I
yeah.
could be in that jail. You could be in the jail. So don't apply. You know what I'm saying, though? Apply to peace. Apply to your life. Stay out of trouble. Don't rob cigar shops. But yeah, no, it's better to go and spread goodwill in jail than to stay in jail. How long you been doing that with that charitable work there?
15 years.
Now, when you go there, is it 101? You might. What do you?
No,
So
no,
what do
we have about last Sunday that we were there, we were at about 12 men. We have like the chapel room that they've given us.
So you have the chapel. You read.
And then what's really cool is one of the guys that I know from a cigar lounge, he retired as a CO, and his best friend that he went to the academy is the captain of that jail. And a friend of mine who's on the jail ministry team, he wanted to expand to another jail in Yaphank. And I talked to the captain that I was smoking cigars with and watching the rigged football game, because a friend of mine there from the cigar shop, a lot of times we'll have like a nice little barbecue outside, and inside he's got a heater, and so I talked to Captain Kevin, and he gave us some great favors. So we'll be going to Yaphank shortly too. So we'll be doing 2 jails.
Now, why is there a Yaphank jail versus the Riverhead? Riverhead is that more not only if you commit a crime in the county Riverhead,
Well,
but
they're both
if
county jails.
But if you have a bigger case, you could have a felony case in Suffolk County, but you could be doing short term in Riverhead until you go upstate, correct?
Correct.
Because if you commit a murder in Suffolk County, you're going to be at Riverhead, generally speaking, which Riverhead is also county jail, so maybe you can do less than a year. But you could be there more than a year if you have a criminal case like a felony, that if it takes 2 years for the case to go through, they'll give you time served, then you go upstate, correct?
Yeah, well, yeah. So this one kid, he's been in there for 3 years, and he's going to serve all his time there. So
Why did they let him do that?
I don't know. I don't know the answer to that question.
So
But,
even though the county jail is generally for a year and a year minus a day, because technically in New York State, a year over a day, you're supposed to not go to jail, you're supposed to go to prison upstate.
Right.
But there are special circumstances.
Well, yeah, it's the prison is like it's a corporation that's running the place, and like everything else. So why, I don't know, but
Well, you got lucky because if you have family, it's easier to visit here
Right,
than going
right.
upstate to
Yeah.
Sing Sing,
Yeah.
Dude, you don't want to go upstate New York prisons are no joke. People die all the time. I told you this guy, when I was an Uber driver, he just got out. He's like, yeah, I just got out of prison. I'm like, congratulations, buddy, I asked him, are there any cigars in prison? He's like, no, no cigars in prison. And I was like, I'll be honest. I was like, how many people got, not beat up or hurt, but I said, how many people got killed? He's like, I was there for a couple years. He's like, I knew 7 guys that got murdered. I'm like, holy shit. 7 guys he knew got murdered in jail in a couple of years. I don't like those odds, you know what I'm saying? That's pretty bad. That's a bad play. If you like worked at a job for 3 years, you're like, how many people got murdered at work? 7. It's bad, But he's like, no, it wasn't that bad. I'm like, that's bad. Don't go to prison. I can't stress it enough. And because of our society, the recidivism is like 70%, right?
It's very high.
It's very high because once you're out, if you have a felony, it's hard to get work, or society puts you in a spot where if you bang on your parole, you're going to go right back. You know what I'm saying, though? Lockdowns and everything. Yeah. I think one of my biggest fears in prison, what I've seen in these documentaries, where guys take their milk or their orange juice container and they literally, I forget the word, what they call a hot shot. Well, they'll literally piss and shit in it and let it ferment. And then when a guard's coming by, they'll squeeze it in his face, like shoot it out.
Oh.
But you pretty much are gonna get the death penalty from the guards after that.
Oh,
like
yeah.
the guards are, that's generally guys doing that already have death row. Like because think about that guard could get AIDS or hepatitis or some weird shit. You know what I'm saying? If you launch hot piss and fermented shit, basically they're a master blender, like a cigar maker. No, it's really, I mean, they ferment it. It's like, no, you got to age it. You don't just put shit in piss. You got to let it sit. You got to let it ferment. Dude, that's a rough place to be in. That's a godless society. I would wear safety glasses if I was a PO, a CO, because I don't want to get shit in my face, in the eyes, I don't want it anywhere in my face, but what a terrible place, man. Well, I never went to that county jail. What does it sound like when you're going? Well, you're not going into the main part, right? You're going to the chapel, or?
Well, we used to when we first started. We went into the general population, and then just God kind of opened the doors, so we were able to get into the chapel. When it's God's work, it's
And they never mess with the chaplains that are there. No one's trying to start any trouble
no.
because they're there on the goodwill and they know you're there to try to some kind of positive thing for them. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
They probably look forward to getting a couple hours. Do they have like coffee or cake for the guys?
No. There's none of that.
No coffee?
No.
Oh shit.
No coffee, no cigars.
No cigars. He said if you lock people down for days upon days and months, yeah, lockdowns are no joke. You can make guys go crazy. Mm-hmm. Guys could lose their shit. Well, I think on that note, I'm going to end the live and wish you guys a happy holidays and a Merry Christmas. Have a great Christmas season and enjoy yourself. Hope you have a good time with your family. Smoke your best shit and whatever you got, be content,
Enjoy the season, brothers. Brothers of the Leaf. Peace.
We'll see you guys
Peace,
around.
love.
Thanks a lot, guys, for all the support tonight.
Yes.
Major flex. Basically $50 tonight in support. I'm going to give that all to my ex-wife. I'm going to make sure she gets that for the wrapping the presents. Yeah, she's going to get that, Yeah, Sean, you take it easy out there in hot Texas.
Take it easy, boys.
Yeah, there's no football and cigars in prison. There was a guy on the other night. He started talking about prison in San Quentin. He said, well, it's not bad. You get a small TV. I'm like, yeah, it doesn't sound too good, man. He's like, yeah, if you want to get big, you can put work in. I'm like, it doesn't sound like the work you want to be putting in. He said, no, it's not that bad. I'm like, sounds kind of bad, So, well, guys, I'll see you around. God bless everyone. Take it easy, all right? Sacco, always a gentleman. He got to enjoy the Casa de Sacco. He said he loved it just like Ashton's great cigar, man. Great construction. You guys be good, man. See you around. God bless.
Bless you guys.